Okay, here we are with another RStudio video. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough, hopefully quick, of Module 2 Exercise 1, which is calculating summary statistics on the normtemp data. We started this exercise in class, and again, I just wanted to provide kind of a walkthrough and orient you some more to the RStudio interface. So notice that I'm in RStudio now, looking at my my kind of working directory, my CRP 241. Of these folders mostly correspond to different projects I've been working on. Notice that I don't have a project open currently, so I'm just in the Files pane looking around. Now we already have used the normtemp data, and so what I'm going to do is just go into that particular project, which is Mod 1 Exercise 2 Part 1. Notice if I click in the Files pane, I can go into that directory. I'm still not in the project. I have to open the project if I want to go into that. There's a variety of ways I can do that. I'll just go up here, and it's in my recently used projects list. So I'm going to go to Module 1, Exercise 2, Part 1. And that's going to go ahead and open. Notice I'll return back because of the way I have my options set. I've got my script file open. I've got the normtemp data. Doesn't look like it's properly open. I'm just going to close that tab. We'll load that back up again. Now notice I've got my workspace down here, but it's collapsed. These little square buttons up here help me control the interface and the panes. So what this is saying is if I click this, it's going to give me my workspace back. Notice that normtemp is there. Now that I've clicked it, it's loaded back up. It looks correct. So notice I have two tabs up here now. I have the view of the data, and I've still got my normtemp script. I'm going to click this button to extend the workspace down again. So down here at the bottom of the script file, let me just add onto this. I'm going to put a comment in here. I like using double pounds, but you don't need to. You can use a single pound for a comment. So now let's do summary statistics on temp. Sorry. We'll date this. And now we've already, Megan provided a script file in class that had a bunch of the commands. It was for the acupuncture data and chronicity, but instead of retyping all of that, let's just cannibalize that file and bring that in, and then we'll modify it to reflect the right data frame and variables. So I'm going to move this over a little. I'm going to get my file pane open, and what I want to do, I need to go find that project, so I'm going to go look here. I called it Mod 2 Exercise 1. Notice here's that R Module 2 brief intro, the R script file that Megan provided. So what I want to do is copy this and then move the copy over to that other project directory so I can use it there. Now I can actually just go ahead and open it right here. Notice I'm still in my project. I just went to another directory and opened an R file by clicking on it. So that's the easiest thing to do. So now I can actually just copy and paste from one file to the other. So the first thing we did, or we want to do, is calculate overall summary statistics for the entire sample. So I'm just going to right click and copy, go over here, go down here, right click and paste, and make some modifications. So notice, so I need to change this comment. We're not doing chronicity. We have the Site 18 data. Well, so what we can do, we need to change this for each one of these statistics commands to normtemp and temp. So the easy way to do that is just go up to Edit and do Find and Replace. So I'm looking for Site 18 underscore cap data $ chronicity, and I want to replace that with normtemp $temp. Pretty sure I want to do that everywhere. 5 occurrences were replaced. There we go. So now we can actually run this, and hopefully we will get, so I just highlight it, I run it. Again, if I click this box to extend, it's going to extend my console so I can see what's going on. So here are the statistics I've calculated. So let's go back over here and continue on. So now we want to repeat these statistics, and do it by gender. So let's go back to our file, and right here is where Megan showed us how to subset. So I'm going to grab that, right click, copy, jump over here, might as well save it while I'm here, and then do a right click, paste. Mac people, you'll need to adjust for how you're doing. You do your copy and paste in Mac OS. So I also forgot up here in my comment, I really should change that to temp. So we're not subsetting on treatment group, we're going to subset on gender here. And again, I'm going to get rid of this comment. Now it's an important thing, I'm a fan of literate code, which means you should document your code with lots of meta information. And so I know that gender equal to 1 is male, and gender equal to 2 is female. So I'm just going to document that in my comments. Now what we want to do here, we're going to make one of these males and the other females, and we're going to subset on gender to get that. So we're subsetting normtemp. I'll just type these in since there's only 2 of them. And instead of group equal 1, we're going to do gender equal 1 for males and equal 2. So again, that's telling us we want to choose a value of 1 for gender and then subset normtemp, restrict normtemp to only those individuals that have a gender equal to 1. So if we go ahead and run these, I'm going to go ahead and move this up so you can see the workspace before I run it. So we're going to run these, just highlight those 2 lines. Notice I now have 2 new data objects, 65 observations each. So it's split 50-50. And now we can, I'm going to open this window up again. Now we can grab this. I'm going to copy that and move it down here. And I'm going to repeat it a second time. So what I want to do is, if I go right to this first one and do a find and replace, so I want to now, I'm doing, let's make a note here. So now do summary statistics on by gender. Okay. So we don't want to operate on normtemp anymore. We want to operate on the males data frame and the females data frame. So if I just go right above the normtemp, I can actually do the find and replace again. I can do normtemp, and I can do males. And instead of clicking all, because I only want to do it on the next 5, I just click replace, and it's going to highlight each one, and then I can click replace for each one. Now I want to stop, and actually here I want to make this females, and then replace, and replace, and now it's going to jump to the next normtemp, which is back up at the top. So let me go back down here. So I've got males and females and temp. So actually just using find and replace, I very quickly should be able to. So let's run it for select and run for the males, and select and run for the females. Let me open that up so I can see all of them at the same time. yeah, looks like that worked. So now we want to move on to the graphical measures. So I can go back over here to the intro. Let's slide on down, and we can go with a histogram with more informative titles. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, paste it over to my script, go down to the bottom of the file, put that in. And again, we need to make some modifications here. So the first thing we wanted to do was do it for the overall sample. So we're back to normtemp. Instead of chronicity, we're doing temp. This is a histogram of body temperature. Change this to body temperature. And let's go ahead and run this histogram. And now it pops up our plot window, our plot pane. Okay, so we've got the histogram now. And let's move on to side-by-side box plots for body temperature for males and females. Alright, so let's go back here. Let's grab some code, and I'm going to grab the nice one with all the titles, and we'll go ahead and bring that over. I'm going to save my file, go down a few more lines, put this in. So again, we're going to make our modifications. So we're looking at norm temp, and we're looking at temp. And I'm going to change this. We're going to do our box plot by gender. So again, we use the tilde, and then the variable that we want to subdivide or do side by side on. So our main title, we can do body temperature by gender. Our Y label is going to be body temperature. We can just call it body temp. And our X label is gender. Now we have the names function. Now this is we have to put them in the order that the variables are in. So in ascending order. So this should be males for 1 and females for 2. Again, we've documented that up here. That is correct. So we'll see the males first and then the females. Let's go ahead and see if that will plot for us. Highlight and click run. An error. Should properly reference the data frame that you're pulling a variable from. Let's try that one more time. There we go. So let me open this window up a little bit here. It'll redraw that. And notice there's an arrow, a back arrow, and the plot pane will, as you generate new plots, it will you can circulate through them using these arrows back and forth. There's the histogram, there's the box plot. If you want to get these histograms or box plots out into Word, you can use the export function. You can save them. You can also copy them to the clipboard if you have a Word document open, and then you can simply copy the plot and then paste it into your Word document. One thing I would suggest doing is maintaining the aspect ratio will give you the proper view as you move it into Word or other word processing documents. So I'm not going to do that right now. Alright, so that actually concludes all the code. We can save this file, and just as a reminder, I wanted to show you again, if you need help, you can just put your cursor in a command and hit the tab key, and that will bring up in line different commands that meet that look like the letters that you have there. And then once you select the one you want, if you hit F1, then that'll bring it up in the help window, and RStudio will automatically go to that pane, and then you can look through there to see help on that idea. This can be very helpful when you're looking for commands or not sure of the options that you can put in a command. Again, here's box plot. And again, if we hit F1, it'll take us there. So, all right, let me go ahead and close this project. And that's all I have for this video.